Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's Payday 3 video, Starbreeze were kind enough to give me some early access as a partner to check out the first in their brand new series of dev updates, which is supposedly going to be, I think, sharing insight on future content for the game. I don't know what to expect here, but considering they've sent us early access before an embargo, there could be something interesting cooking here. So you're going to be getting my raw reactions here, where I'm checking out if there's anything interesting in the update. My main hope is that they confirm the second patch has been sent out for certification. I really want there to be some information on when the next one's coming, and beyond that, hopefully some details on free content. I really like to see a free heist added before the end of the year. That's where my expectations are at right now. Just something to bring me back into playing the game, because at the minute I'm really not playing it much, especially progression being the way it is. Also, very quickly, just sliding this in at the start here as an add-on, I haven't mentioned the second channel in a little bit, but while I've not been making Payday 3 content, I have been putting videos out over there, so if you want to hear me talk about other things, feel free to go and subscribe. I recently did videos on Mass Effect, the Marvels, and tonight my video on Loki Season 2 will go up, so if you want to hear me talk about nerdy stuff that's not Payday, I'll leave a link on screen in the description. But anyway, back to the video. Regardless, it's a 5-minute video. I'm going to give you my reaction as always, and then give my thoughts afterwards. So as always, I'll put a timestamp on screen now if you want to skip over my reaction, because this will only go out once the video's gone out anyway, so you may have already seen it. But without further ado, let's see what they've got on offer. I am intrigued, a little bit nervous. Let's find out if we've got anything good coming in the immediate future. Here we go.
Hello, heisters.
We got
and
subtitles.
welcome to our first ever Payday 3 dev update video. Our goal with these videos is to offer you an insight into what to expect from the world of Payday 3 in the next month. And in today's episode,
like
we'll
your
talk
earring.
about
That's a
free
cool earring,
content
Liz.
coming to the game.
Whoa,
as
whoa,
well as
whoa. Hang on a minute. You just flashbanged me with heists. They are not.
Episode, we'll talk about free content.
Is that cook-off? Nah, you're not doing this. That's not Murky Station, is it? Okay. That's Murky Station, and
You can expect to see in Payday 3 very
first-person
soon.
animations.
Let's get into it.
I mean, I would have liked them to have been in the game from the start, but whatever. Better late than never. But what the hell's going on with the heists? What?
Allow me to start talking about the elephant in the room.
Oh.
Payday 3 not receiving any updates during the first month after release.
Yeah, how are you going to talk this one out?
And what we've done to make sure we don't end up in this situation again. To make a long, complicated, and technical story short, we found a critical error in our backend update pipeline just after the game went live. As a result of this, there was a significant risk that any update we made could affect the player saves and progression. We had to ensure that the test environment functioned as intended before we could proceed with publishing the update.
Slow zoom on his face.
We have no reason to want to delay updates for this long. It was frustrating for both us and you.
That's one thing I have to add in. As much as it's been really terrible how the post-launch has been handled, like, the people who are like, oh, Starbreeze doing this just to annoy us, like, do you really think they're sat there not wanting to put the updates out? They obviously want to. They want the game to succeed, but it's been terrible. It seems like they're just explaining the same thing they said in that status update so that it's relayed in more places, which is what they've needed to do all this time. So I'm glad they're at least putting it in this video so more eyes will be able to, you know, see the explanation and understand why it's taken them so long, or at least get some of the background to it.
The players, that the launch went the way it did. We've taken the necessary steps to make sure that our updates will not cause more problems than they fix. Thank you for continuing to support us and playing Payday 3.
Okay. So, hopefully the problem will not repeat
It's
itself.
time to look towards the future.
Right, come
Very
on,
soon
what's going
you'll
on?
be able to download Payday 3's first free content update.
Okay.
In this update, you'll be able to play 2 legacy heists.
It
from
is, it's
Payday 3.
cock-off!
There are a lot of fan favorites out there.
And that's,
but we
yeah, it's
have
Murky
decided to
Station!
Start with bringing back Cook-Off and Murky Station.
Think you can handle it, you chops? Oh, no, you can't.
No! Oh my god! Okay, I'm not gonna be someone who immediately forgets all the terrible stuff that's happened with Payday 3 post-launch, but this is finally actually good stuff. And allow me to get excited over it for a minute. That is Ian Russell's voice. Locke is not dead. I knew it! I knew they weren't gonna kill him off.
Payday 3 is quite
So is he going to talk us through like the old heists? Like Shay does the new ones, Locke does the old ones maybe? I don't know.
We've had to
That
make
could be
some
cool.
changes to fit the new criminal dawn of heisting. But
Right.
don't worry, the changes aren't going to make the heist less recognizable. You'll still feel like you're truly re-experiencing this classic heist.
There was no murky water name on that train car, if you noticed. No, so you're gonna get people who complain anyway about the game feeling different, but you gotta remember, Payday 3's system, stealth in particular, are so different, so things are gonna feel a bit different. But I'm excited for that. I've said this on the record before. I'm quite happy to move on from Payday 2. I'd be interested to play the maps in a new system like Payday 3's. I think that could be really entertaining. And this looks cool. Looks like there's some scaffolding outside of the house that wasn't there before, because that's the shed round the back, I think, from the look of it, the back garden. There was no scaffolding that had stairs on it in Payday 2, so that's interesting. Oh, man.
For the music fans out there, Cook-Off and Murky Station will be coming to Payday 3 with
Simon
two
Bicklin tracks?
brand new tracks from our composer, Gustavo.
Just as good. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy.
And these two will seek to be a fresh experience while still representing the heist you all know and love.
Oh, that feels a bit like EDM-y.
So for the
like
Legacy Heist, I wanted to bring back a little bit of that early Payday 2 vibe music. So you see it's very synth heavy. We use a lot of 4-to-the-floor patterns, but I wanted to mix it with what we have now for Payday 3 as well. So you see, you find.
I mean, Gustavo hasn't done a bad track. I stand by it. So
at some point,
dude will have
especially
cooked.
on Cook-Off. And that song in particular was very fun to make because I wanted it to have a floaty vibe, like unexpected vibe throughout it, where you don't know exactly what's gonna come after that. So you see that the swing changes a little bit throughout the entire song. So sometimes it's very straight. Other times it feels like a bit trippy.
It looked nothing like that in the interview. It wasn't bright yellow.
That's
Maybe he's
something that I really wanted to bring to the Cook-Off because of the subject of the heist and how unexpected.
Cook-Off coming back is interesting for the sake of the game economy. I'm fascinated by that. We'll talk about it later.
A lot of you have wanted to know what happened to Locke. Like the rest of the gang, he also had assassins sent after him and barely survived the encounter.
I knew they wouldn't kill him off.
Now that the Payday gang is back in action, Locke got word of their New York adventures and is back to help them out.
Russell,
Look
my
forward
boy.
to him guiding you through the legacy heists in Payday 3.
So he is.
Prince, I found a new job I think you'll be interested in.
In addition to the Legacy Heist, this content update will also give you the long-awaited skill line we promised in our streams, the Transporter.
Okay,
this
they're
new
cooking.
skill line has
They're
a
cooking.
number of amazing skills tied to the carrying and moving of bags, including the one thing you've all wanted to do since you saw Wolf do this in the early concept art, carrying 2 bags.
Yeah, it's kind of wild that was in the concept art and then wasn't in the base game, but we move. Again, better late than never.
We've seen you talk about the most. It is, of course, the challenge system. We've heard you, and changes are coming.
Something good, please.
Our first step to address this has been to add an infamy point reward for each completed heist.
Oh, beautiful!
The amount won't be massive, but enough that you.
And that's it. Is that in this update? It sounds like, for the sound of it.
Infamy level, even when you're not completing challenges. We're also prioritizing creating a better system for presenting the challenges. We want to make sure
so that's
the
not
UI
ready.
helps you keep track of your progress and offer recommendations on what to do next.
And that is it for today's episode. If you like what you just saw and want to stay up to date with everything Payday 3, then remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified when we upload next. See you next time, and don't let the cloaker kick you.
Okay, nice try. Nice try. What a random assortment of videos popped up on my screen afterwards. What on earth, man? Okay, well, we're going to do a breakdown, just look over things. I don't even think I'll go to the chatting camera. There's not really much point. But I will say, not to deflate it immediately, that video has ended. I am hyper aware of the fact that no date was given. I think Liz said earlier that it was like within the next month.
From the world of Payday 3 in the next month.
In the next month, okay. So it's before Christmas. But it sucks a little bit to not have a timeline. I don't want to be the one to deflate everything, obviously, whatever, but we've all got a reason to be cynical at the minute. The game has not been handled well. We've said this already. If it were me, the only thing I would do to improve this video is I would have waited personally until it was sent off for certification and then said in this video, the update's being certified. Here's what you can expect. Bam. That would have made it just a tiny bit better. However, what we've got is very, very, very good. So, right, first off, they don't mention it, but let's just mute and on 0.25 speed. I'm doing the new, is it the new Rockstars thing? I watched this at 0.25 speed. I just want to look at the first person animations, because it looks like there's animations for a few things that seem to be adding in the update. At least I'm guessing. They didn't really hone in on it, but... So, interaction for using a computer. Let's turn the subtitles off. Interaction, I think, for grabbing the keycard, was there? Yeah, a little bit's delayed, but they could speed it up maybe, but whatever. Then using the keycard. Brilliant, that's in time perfectly. Pressing buttons. I mean, like, they're not perfect, but they don't need to be. Just having some kind of interaction there where you are, like, more first-person stuff is happening is perfect. That's what you want. That's great. That's very, very good. Yeah, Andreas here talking about why the update was delayed. As I've said, that is just purely them reiterating what they said in their statement about the update before it came out, saying, you know, they were worried about it resetting progress, and if they'd released updates as it were, it might have ruined people's progression, and that would have been obviously horrific. So I don't blame them for holding off, but I think there is definitely a problem with the internal communication pipeline that needs to be fixed, where they couldn't have shared that 3 weeks sooner. My best guess, from my perspective, and this is not on any official information, so you don't quote me on here or anything, but I'm thinking there might be some kind of internal blockage going on, where maybe like some higher up shareholders or some kind of executives are saying, you can't share this information, it'll look badly on the game, and then therefore the people who want to talk about it can't talk about it. That's the only logical thing I can think of, because as far as I'm concerned, I remember Almir saying it on stream, going like, you know, this was the reason, and someone in chat went, well, why didn't you say it sooner? You would have helped, you know, fight back against some of the hate you were getting. And Almir literally didn't have a retort. He just kind of went, that's a good point, but yeah, like he didn't have anything to say. And Almir's good at like giving answers for a lot of this stuff. So like, to me, I think something's gone on behind the scenes to prevent them from talking about it. So whatever it is, whoever's responsible, please, with all due respect, get the hell off your high horse and don't withhold information like that, because at least for me personally, part of the vitriol I had for how the game was being handled would have been allayed by knowing that information. I'm saying my piece on that and leaving it. Much like with an offline mode, still need it. So there are still ways to improve the game. This is not a video that fixes everything, but it does a damn sight to try and get us excited, and it's succeeded in that. I'm very happy about that, so I'm glad to see that. The other thing is looking at the heists themselves. So, Cook-Off is coming back, and yeah, actually, yeah, you can see this is the back of the building. So, there was a door here in the original heist, and the scaffolding went along here and then kind of stopped. There wasn't really a railing. Instead, it's a different door. So the interior looks a bit different, and I think we saw a look at the interior just in passing. Right, so you come up the stairs, and rather than the entrance or the exit being up here, you go around and in the back here, and then the way out into the balconies through there. So that's slightly different. It looks a bit more like the shooting range in Modern Warfare 2's like original campaign, or Modern Warfare 1, sorry. Murky Station looking pretty much the same down here. Overhead, Quants trains. Oh, maybe the brand of trains changes between... Oh, no, there you go. There's the other one that I saw, whatever that is. So there's no Murky Water from the look of it. So they're moving on from Murky Water, which is good. So they're kind of updating it. So maybe it'll be like some of the Legacy Heists of Payday 3, where it's the same location, but you're going back later. That was the better way to do Legacy Heists, apart from No Mercy, because that was contextual to the story, so that's different. Going back to our shot of Cook-Off. So we got the street here, that's the exact same. And then bringing back up that image I was talking about, let's have a little look at the back again. So we saw in there, we had the interior that we peeked at, and you can come out around the back here onto a balcony with a staircase that goes down here and allows you to step onto the roof here. Bit more verticality, I like that, very, very cool. Okay, Murky Station. So looks like we're getting more Payday 3 style vent systems, very good. I did think it was a bit finicky in Payday 2, so seeing that will be very cool. This looks pretty much the same. Maybe some, movement along the top of the train cars, that's good. Again, verticality, I like. This is a bit too dark for my liking. Good grief, guys. Could you have upped the brightness a bit, please? But yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Can we see any other ways of getting around up here? Maybe. Maybe you can leap off some of these bits and jump onto the train cars. If there's more movement in the stealth heist, that'll make it more accessible. Maybe you can leap up from over there. I don't know. Where is that? Is that an underground? Oh, that's a garage in Cook-Off, I think, from the look of it. Ooh, okay. And then drone cameras are back, okay, with the kind of like the detection system from Art Gallery. That's a good way of combining old and new. I like that. Okay. Dude, these look really good. This is what I wanted, and it also means that Payday 3 will have 10 heists, which is honestly what it should have had at launch, at least 10 heists. I do think it didn't have enough at launch. So at least we're going to get closer to what I would have liked Payday 3 at launch to look like. Does it mean it should have had more stuff at launch? Yes, it does. Does it mean I'm not going to be happy that it's added now? Not at all. I will be very happy. And like I said, I know it shouldn't apply to every game these days, but better late than never is just some way of making it positive. And I'm happy because some good stuff has been added here. And Andreas talks a bit, like I said there, about how some features will be different. So stealth systems, loud systems, things will feel more like Payday 3 in the Payday 2 environment. And as I've said, I know a lot of people in my comment section have been like, oh, I'm going back to Payday 2. I prefer that system. I totally get it. But I have played the game to death and done so much content on it. I don't want to go back to Payday 2. It was never what I wanted to do, even if Payday 3 didn't land, which it didn't for me for the first month. I just didn't play Payday. I don't want to feel the same game. I want to feel something fresh. So if you want to play it like Payday 2, you go play Payday 2. If you want to play it like Payday 3, it'll be unique here. I think it's the best way to execute it. And hopefully in actually playing it, it will feel the same. I'm very, very intrigued by that. So yeah, so here's the balcony coming down here to go out onto the roof. I thought that was Houston for a second, but that is Hoxton's mask. I know they got very excited. There's a little bit of a scaffolding thing at the back here. Interesting. Maybe you can step down from there. There's a ladder or something. I don't know. That would be cool. And then the interior here looks a bit different. Maybe the meth is always on the ground floor. Maybe like RNG, it does switch between top and bottom still. I think that would be important. I think Payday 3's heists are lacking a good amount of RNG like Payday 2, so I don't want them to compromise that in the remasters here in Payday 3. Oh yeah, look at that! So you can go up from the ground floor, up and around, and then into the roof. So there's now 2 ways to get to the top. Very good. I think this is going to handle much better than Payday 2's. I'm very excited to see how this works. I am very, very, very excited. Good stuff. Very good stuff. This is brilliant. This is really, really, really good. Okay. I don't know who that guy is over there. What is that? Is that a civilian maybe that you could take in the heist? I don't know. And then they're shooting some snipers. And then a bit more gameplay here. This is pretty much the same. I like how you go under the scaffolding as well. It's good. Oh, chains leaving through a window. Give me that picture of Locke. Look at Locke. So he had an attempt on his life like the Payday gang, and he obviously got, like I said, Nick Fury. Looks like he actually got scratched by a blood flirkin like Nick Fury did in Captain Marvel. But yeah, he's got his eye scratched out, so he looks a bit more badass. And in terms of redesigns, he looks great. Kind of joins the club with chains and looking quite a lot like the original actor still, in my opinion. I think he looks a good bit still like Ian Russell, and I like it. Looks good. Looks very good. That's probably going to be like his character art in the lobby, like with Shade. As per usual, I forgot to add some things in, so just very brief thoughts on Locke coming back. Very, very happy to see Ian Russell return. I kind of knew from the start they weren't going to kill him off. It didn't make sense to me for them to do that because he's a very popular character, and especially with how loved Bane was, I think Locke did a really good job of succeeding him, and I love Shade, but it would have felt weird to just completely knock Locke off the playing board altogether because he was really popular. They struck gold with him and with Ian Russell, so to kind of cast that aside for the sake of, a plot beat where Locke died, not worth it. So I'm very glad that I was right in predicting he was alive. And controlling all legacy heists, I think is a nice touch. So Shade is the operator for the future jobs, and Locke is the operator for the past jobs. That's a very good way to do it, and it balances different characters, and then everyone's happy. I think that's really, really good. And the only other thing to mention is specifically Cook-Off's economy. I'm going to be very interested to see how they roll Cook-Off. Will they let you do infinite meth bags again? Will it be different drugs? I mean, meth will be a new loot for Payday 3. So far, we've only had cocaine. Maybe they'll reinvent it altogether, but I don't know if you'd be able to make cocaine in the middle of Cook-Off. I think it probably will still be meth. I wonder if they'll let you do infinite bags and how that would impact the game economy, because at present, Payday 3's loot securing it's not well balanced for the value of loot bags. So I'd be intrigued to see if they actually add some fixes to that at the same time. And also, I'd love it if they put a pop-up on screen to say bag secured and the value of it. That is sorely missed in the game, especially for a heist like Cook-Off, where the meth was one of the biggest paying loot bags in the game. Seeing several $1 million pop up for securing it was such a great feeling. And something like that for Payday 3, even at reduced value, because I think the economy's a bit tighter now, would be really good. So hopefully we get that. So there are my extra thoughts. Back to past Troy. Oh yeah, the transporter skill tree. Did they hover over all the skills? Can we read them out? Is that a thing we can do? I'm not sure if my camera will allow for it, but I could always take my camera off and just give them a quick read. Whenever you pick up a bag or a body, you gain a refresh rush. Whenever you throw it, you will lose it. Oh, okay. Bit of a nerf, not ideal. Whenever you pick up a body, you gain a refresh grit or lose grit for acing it, so that's whatever. The ace I'm not that bothered about. That's intriguing, but I'm more bothered by the rush. Next one, as long as you have rush, carrying objects or bodies doesn't incur any movement speed penalties to you. That's good. As long as you have grit, any civilian or employee who sees you carrying a body will immediately become intimidated. Okay. Passable. Not that bothered by that. Oh, okay, so we don't see the 5th skill, but we do for a very brief second see the 4th one. If you have a deployable bag in your loadout, you start the heist with 1 extra deployable of that type, but all your deployable bags have 2 charges less. Oh, okay. And then the last skill seems to be something to do with 2 bags there, which is, it's to carry 2 bags, obviously. Yeah, that must be it. And looking at that image there, that suggests throwing bags further, like Transporter, the skill in Payday 2, so that's good. So that's a bit like Jack of all trades, so carrying an extra deployable, but not like 2 different ones, like just more of the same, but you have 2 less charges. So if you have an armor bag, for example, that has 6 charges, you'd end up having 8 charges instead of 6. I think it would be better to have 1 charge less, because it doesn't feel like you're getting much more for the sake of the skill, but maybe it'll work better in execution, we'll see. And then they talked about the challenge system, but I don't think there's much else to look at there, other than them mentioning recommended challenges, possibly showing up on the main page. Good. But getting infamy points for completing a heist is very, very important, and I'm hoping that they're saying, oh wow, is this a different objective in the heist? For stealth, pulling the levers here? That looks cool. Getting infamy points for completing the heist is something that will get me to play the game more again. Because I understand what they were doing in trying to get people to try different playstyles to level up, but I'm not about it. I will play things at my own speed. I want to level up at my own speed regardless. So I'm quite happy with just having infinity points for completing a heist. The question will be how many they give you. They may not give you many. Maybe they'll give you it based on time or loot secured or stealth allowed. I don't know. They could go into a really in-depth system here, or it could just be you get 10 points for beating a heist. I really don't know. Hopefully it's an in-depth completion system. That would be really, really good. But ladies and gentlemen, those are my full thoughts on Payday 3's first dev update. If they keep up this level, this will be great. It's a very well-presented video, giving us some really good information, and I'm thrilled to get it out and see what you all think. So let me know in the comment section below, is this going to be getting you back into the game? Obviously, as I've said, the kind of downside here is that we don't know when that's going to happen, when the update's going to come out. Hopefully it's soon. We know it's in the next month, but I'm hoping it's this month. I don't want it to be December. I don't want to wait much longer because, man, it's nearly been 2 months since the game came out. I want some proper content sooner rather than later. But either way, as soon as there is updates, information, anything like that, or our updates, I should say, for the sake of grammar, I will let you know as per usual. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and click like on the video if you've enjoyed it. But apart from that, I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Much love, take care, and I'll see you all soon.